People breaking the most serious of driving offences will be hit with new fines in an effort to curb fatalities on the roads. They include speeding, mobile phone use and not wearing a seatbelt. Speeding will go up from €80 to €160. 94 people have already lost their lives on the roads so far this year, with more than 600 seriously injured. Earlier, I spoke to Paula Hilman, the Assistant Commissioner of Roads, Policing and Community Engagement with Garda Síochána, and I began by asking Paula about that alarming rise in road traffic incidents.
Well, it is alarming because behind every one of those figures is a family, community, friends who have lost a loved one, and we never lose sight of that. When we look at what we see on our roads, it's a combination of factors. Undoubtedly speeding, and we've had a recent campaign, #SlowDown, encouraging everyone to slow down on the roads. Drink and drug driving also causes fatal and serious injury collisions, so never drive under the influence of drink or drugs. Also, wear your seatbelt. Unfortunately, we are seeing incidents where a part of our investigations that people are no longer wearing their seatbelts. But wearing your seatbelt could save your life or save your passenger's life. So please wear your seatbelt. And then finally, inattention. Don't be distracted by mobile phone or other distractions on the road.
Interesting that you're saying about seatbelt wearing, because a lot of people would have thought, we're complying with the law on that one. Mm-hmm. The campaign around that one has been ongoing for decades, but not so. What are you putting this rise in law breaking around seatbelts down to?
It is, and we've seen it, unfortunately. I was actually talking to a doctor this morning up in Letterkenny when we launched our August road safety campaign, and he was saying the same. I think it's with people. I think a lot of people think it's never going to happen to me. I may not be in that collision. And as we're seeing, and those who are killed and seriously injured on our roads, it's right across all age groups. So, it's really the message for everyone is please wear your seatbelt.
OK, let's talk about the fines, the deterrents that are in place. Fines have been announced that they are going to increase, doubled from €80 to €160 in the area of speeding. There were more than 88,000 people caught speeding between January and July of this year. Do you think that the fines that were in place were simply not enough at €80?
Well, I think there was mention of the fines and the increase, lack of increase over recent years in comparison to other fines as well. Certainly, we will work within the legislation in the country, and the fines, if we detect people, the fines then are a matter for the legislators and for government. But I think anything that deters people and encourages people to drive more safely, which will help reduce those killed and seriously injured in our roads, is to be welcomed. Yeah,
because some road safety campaigners would say, the fear of penalty points may prompt people to change their behaviour more. The fear of losing your licence, of losing your livelihood, that they would be a greater deterrent. But is there evidence from the guards that a simple fine, in the case of going from €80 to €160, do you believe that will provide that deterrent?
Well, I think it's a starting point, and the Minister covered this morning, that the issue around the penalty points needs legislation, and that will take slightly longer. So I think it's that phased approach with the fine starting first and points coming then thereafter.
OK. You say you're targeted, you're in favour of targeted enforcement, and we're looking around the issue of speed cameras on this one. There are an additional 61 speed cameras going in place on national roads. Are they going to target spots where heretofore people just would have just driven without any caution? How have those specific spots been chosen?
Yes, well, we've identified another 61 zones. That's the road area. In total, we will be rolling out 250. They will be the 61 going operational today are on our website, so that they've been on the website for the last week. We identified those both by looking at, and we do this historically as well, where we've had fatal, serious injury and minor collisions. So we look at what does the data tell us about where collisions are happening. And then secondly, for these 61, we've also had input from local senior Gardai. So what are their local communities telling them? What are their road safety groups telling them? And we will assess those and work with our partners in Go Safe. And it is important, we know August is a high-risk month. Part of today's campaign was very much about wishing people, we want people to have a really good bank holiday weekend. But last August bank holiday weekend, last August, 22 people throughout the whole month lost their lives on Irish roads. So August is a high-risk month for us, and we know this from previous years. And it's really important. We also know that, for people going on their holidays and coming back after the long weekend, Thursday and Friday afternoons and Tuesday afternoons particularly, we would encourage people to drive safely.
OK, Assistant Commissioner Paula Hilman, thank you for joining us on the programme tonight.
Thank you.